What is this podcast called again?
It's the Free2Podcast.
Welcome to Free2Podcast. There you go.
Holy shit! Okay, that was pretty epic. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a.
What was that? Where did that voice come from?
What
was
I do
that?
a lot of voices, man. I do a lot of voices.
You do a lot of voices, or you have a lot of voices in your head?
I got a lot of everything. Mostly voices in the head. That
I'm one to say, holy shit. I'm one to judge. Like I constantly have a Bane voice in my head, at least at all times.
I can only do Smeagol.
But Smeagol left the hobbits they stole it from us. My precious. Stupid fat hobbits. Stupid fat hobbits.
That's actually really good. Holy crap, dude. Wow. Anyways, just to start off, the usual. My name is Victor, aka Krion. I got Matt, aka Vatolicious here, and as you have all heard by now, this is Regnom.
Hello.
Going to be joining us this week, and hopefully we can turn this into a regular thing. The only thing that always sucks is, wait, Regnom, what time zone are you in right now?
I'm in Pacific Standard Time, so this is noon for me. I don't care. Like, this is great.
Oh. Alright, so I thought you were in Central for some reason.
Oh, fuck no.
Oh. And, yeah, so Vatolicious is also Pacific. But the 9 hour, or what is it, 9 or 8 hour difference? Yeah, 8 hour difference. Kind of sucks. But I think we'll be able to, I'm good to do this on Saturdays at 8. I'm good with that, GMT. But, to start off, what do you guys, let's start off with something. We talked about Monster Hunter. We can talk more about that. Last week we talked a little bit.
Yeah, I'm down for Monster Hunter. That's all I've been playing for 80 hours.
Wow. Wow. Vatolicious, how long have you been playing for?
Probably like 50.
Damn, dude! He's beating you!
Well, I mean, I just watch my kids and I play Monster Hunter at the same time. It's kind of great.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, alright, I'm curious to know, at what point in the game are you guys currently right now?
Well, if you know Monster Hunter, I'm on the Village Quest 8-star quest, and I'm Hunter rank 5. So that's high rank in both multiplayer and single player.
Okay.
And,
what exactly, like, when you reach a point like that, is it all just like looking for gear and crafting stuff?
It's always looking for gear and crafting stuff. Let's put it this way.
Game.
Yeah. So low rank when you first start off is basically, oh, here's monsters, and this is what they do. Then when you hit high rank, it goes, oh, we made the monsters hit harder and have more health and have new moves. Have fun. And then you have to basically get a high rank set of armor so you actually don't get 3-shot by every monster ever. So then you can get 5-shot. Hooray! And then G rank, which is, yeah. If you ever thought, like, Dark Souls is hard, play G rank.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like, I'm listening right now to Matt. This is like literally the same stuff he told me. Like, you think Dark Souls is hard? Because he plays Dark Souls a lot. So it's like, you think Dark Souls is hard? Play fucking Monster Hunter. Manage, like, food and resources while you're in the middle of a fucking battle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's basically Batman Simulator, because if you don't go prepared, you're fucked.
Damn.
It's like verbatim the conversation we had like 2 days ago.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
No, I'm just like, it's just interesting to hear from another person. Anyways, though, so just in short, though, like, what gear you guys, like, do you already have, like, the best gear, or is that, like, pretty much impossible to have at this stage?
I mean, so gear is subjective in the game. Basically, gear is to make armor set skills, and then take those into battle, depending on what fights you're using. So, one skill is going to be better with one monster than another. And then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if the monster poisons, you have a negate poison armor set. And then you put that on, go in there, Buffalo build that monster, and then get out of there.
So it's a lot more about like just basically builds. Like it's a very build type game.
Yeah.
It's not like you want armor that you can just like use for everything.
Well,
You usually want to have a couple of different good weapons that you're good with too, because some weapons are just terrible against certain enemies.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just a tougher time, and then
Yeah, like some enemies you'll want to be able to just block, because otherwise you're just you're not gonna have a fun time.
yeah.
Do you have skills?
You only have basically you get a weapon and you do exactly what the weapon does, and the weapon can.
Oh, so it's the same as like the old one.
Yeah,
Okay.
the armor skills is just,
Passives?
yeah, it's just a whole load of passive with you mastering a weapon, and I've seen some crazy shit go on with certain weapons like hunting horn. You think that's a multiplayer weapon until you see somebody bash a fucking Zinogre into fucking ground. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But
They
I
do
mean,
a lot
yeah.
of damage, hunting horns.
They do. They're just fucking slow as shit.
Yeah. Buffing yourself with them is nice too.
Mm.
So Monster Hunter has been kind of the big thing for you guys at this point.
Well,
Because it
Yeah.
sounds like you
That's
both
safe to
haven't
say.
played anything else.
I've been playing actually a point-and-click adventure game called Book of Unwritten Tales, which is actually really fun.
are you on the first
What?
one or the second one?
Well, I saw like a gameplay for the second one, so I went and I got the first one,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm almost finished with that. It's actually really pretty good. It's not hard, but I don't know, it's fun. It's a self-aware little fun game that I've just been unwinding at the end of the day playing.
I'm surprised this isn't made by the creators of what was that?
King's Quest?
King's Quest. Yeah. What was the name of that company?
Sierra?
Yeah.
Sierra, right?
Sierra's
Sierra.
making a comeback though, so that's important to me.
They make. Oh yeah, they're making a new one, right?
They're reforming the company, and that means that they're gonna start bringing back all their old IPs. And I grew up with Sierra games like Delta Force 2 and a whole bunch of other ones. But I'm excited.
Was Age of no Empire Earth? Was Empire Earth a Sierra game?
I think so.
Empire Earth?
Yeah, do you remember that game where you had like all the ages and you had to progress through the ages? Not like Age of Empires, more like
Yeah, where you would start off
you
as a
start off-
caveman and you would end up.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
wasn't
it
that a
is.
Sierra game?
I can't
I think
Look
remember.
it up.
the first one or two were.
No, only the first one was really good. No, it's Sierra Entertainment. That's a publisher, but the developers are Stainless Steel Studios. Oh yeah, I remember them. I played this game so much. That's why I think when I think of Sierra, I always think of this game. I played the shit out of this game when I was a kid. Like so much. In Bulgaria, for some reason, all the the different games you could find then were also Sierra games. Like everything was a Sierra game. All the $9 leva or 10 leva games were Sierra games.
Yeah, back then it was like the Sierra age of computer gaming. So,
Yeah, they were big. man.
oh yeah, they're so fucking big.
Remember how there was no DLC? Remember how there was no DLC, no bullshit?
Yeah.
You just buy the game and you play it.
But like expansion packs? Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I mean, expansions were different though. Like, I still to this day think that DLC and expansions are very different. An expansion is like a big thing that like is pretty much like a second game that's kind of smaller than the original. And a DLC is just like a couple of story missions or something like that, and cool skin, or I don't know. I have when I hear DLC, I think bad. When I hear expansion, I generally think good.
That's mostly because current publishers are doing it fucking wrong, and they changed what DLC is basically. And
Yeah.
like expansion pack is basically a DLC because you need the original game to do it, but it has a fuck ton more to it, But I mean, like with publishers and DLC and shit, this is, like the whole Evolve DLC Badokle blah 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 thing. Yeah, that game's more about skins than DLC, and even though they had a ton of DLC shit already done, all that shit hasn't even been finished in the offices in the first place. Like Behemoth is actually just a rolling square in the in their offices right now. They haven't finished it. So that's the evolved Bedacle out of the way.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last time. Actually, we talked about it a lot. How it's kind of, I don't know. I really do hope that people eventually realize that, like, consumers become kind of more responsible, and at the same time they forced, publishers to not do that. Because I don't think it's the developers that want to do DLC. I think a lot of time it's the publisher that forces the developers to make DLC so they can just make more money, right?
Well, that's the Destiny debate, where Destiny in the beta and the alpha is completely different than launch Destiny, because they didn't have any DLC ready for Destiny, so they sliced up that game and they're releasing it step by step as DLC. Mm-hmm. And then,
that's kind of sad. Like you develop a game, it's your baby, and then somebody like comes in and just completely destroys, like, with the whole, it just completely separates it into different parts. It's kind of, I don't know.
You guys ever played DLC Quest?
Oh, I know that game. I know. I never played it, but I watched, Indie for Breakfast, aka Mike B.
Yeah.
Do you know? Or he played it on that, and I remember laughing a lot. That was a funny game.
It's only about a 45-minute game, but I don't know. It just hits it right on the head. It's pretty fun.
It does for the current landscape. Yeah, it's bad, but I mean, DLC can be good. They just can't do it good right now. I mean, like, the only people who do DLC good is indie games right now, just because they care,
Like what games though?
Like the new Isaac Rebirth expansion that's going to be coming. But basically they're adding an additional 100 items, additional floors, additional bosses, and it's probably going to be like $5. So definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I don't know what games. I think what game did I think? I don't like the way that. I'll give you an example of a game I really hate how they do DLC. Borderlands 2. Another example. Like so much DLC, that whole game. I think that, I know that Elder Scrolls Skyrim wasn't a very good example for DLC as well, because this DLC for the most part was kind of overpriced for what it was. But I do think that overall, Fallout and Skyrim overall, the Elder Scrolls series have had better DLC.
Horse armor.
In the DLC.
Yeah, horse armor. They fucked up once. They can't fuck up again.
What's horse armor?
You don't know about the horse armor?
What game is that in?
It was in, yeah. I think it was like, what, $15 horse armor or something like that?
Wait, for what game was it?
Morrowind 4, Oblivion.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't know.
Basically, it's overpriced armor for your horse that does not even boost stats. It's just horse armor.
Wow.
And if you play the DLC
so that's why
quest,
they're so careful now.
Yeah, DLC quest, you can buy ridiculous amounts of horse armor for your horse in DLC quest. That's why.
Wow.
Dark Souls did DLC pretty well.
I think. That's another example.
More like
Dark
expansion
Souls.
Packs.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dark Souls is like little mini expansion packs. It's great, and like Dark Souls has enough content there to not need the DLC anyways.
Yeah.
So I think that's perfect, but when you start, splicing fucking games for just to milk cash out of people, that's just wrong.
Yeah. I think that another game that's kind of close to having good DLC or series is maybe the Batman Arkham series, I think. Kind of. Not like when you exclude the armor stuff, the actual DLCs.
Well, yeah.
Pretty good. They actually add story. And I'm playing right now. I need to actually start live streaming it one of these days, but probably when I get back from PAX, I need to beat the Bright Lord DLC that came out for Shadow Mortal, because everybody says it's amazing. I've saw some gameplay, and there were certain things I didn't like about it that they basically kind of backtracked on the original concept of the game. They kind of changed in Bright Lord, but if the story's good and apparently the final boss battle is good, then I'd be happy with it. And they have all these like different DLCs that have been coming out, since the game launched. That have been kind of cool. I still have to play through those though.
Oh, for Shadow of Mordor? Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I haven't watched it because I want to play it, but I don't want to drop a ton of fucking money on that shit right now.
It is an expensive game, but for some reason, I'm not a AAA guy. I really don't like to. I just watch live streams of AAA games. I'd rather do that. I buy them whenever they're on sale. Like Borderlands, I bought on sale. Most of the AAA games have been like on ridiculous sales. This game I pre-purchased because I'm just a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and even though this is I mean, it could work as canon, but it's not. I really liked it. It felt like it had a lot of content, and I don't remember the last AAA game that I played that had this much content. I honestly don't.
I think it's pretty good, and it has pretty good amount of content and everything like that. That's mainly why I haven't watched it, and I plan on playing an event. The thing is me and AAA games, we never finish each other, and I just play indie games all goddamn day, and then I don't have time to sit down and be like, okay, let's progress through this story because the developers want me to do this, and I just play roguelikes because I'm an asshole, well, to myself.
Roguelikes are cool games. I just have sometimes issues with I don't know. Sometimes patience is kind of the problem. I think that
don't play Monster Hunter.
I kind of like. I mean, I guess like with Try, I never got far enough to have that problem. But maybe it's because like in Try you had like that option of directly going and fighting a boss in multiplayer. Like you could just go and fight Lagiacrus or whatever.
That's literally Monster Hunter. It's just a boss fight simulator, and then sometimes there's 2 boss fights at the same fucking time.
No, because I mean, like in most Monster Hunter Try, you had the option of like going out and in nature and like actually going on a map and looking for Lagiacrus, and then there was an option where it literally put you in an arena with like Lagiacrus.
Yeah, well, those are different.
Boss.
The arena quests are that's set armor based on so
yeah
It's supposed to give you a challenge on it, and it's a little bit less armor than you actually need to fight it. So it's more of a challenge arena and a time like a time score thing.
Oh, my problem was that I hadn't like done any of the kind of end game stuff, so I just jumped into that and was like, "Oh my god, this is incredibly hard. What am I doing?" So I couldn't like make it through. Like with Lagiacrus, especially, one of the annoying things that I remember was I think he used to stun you really easily. So half the battle you were just stunned, and he just like bursts electricity all over. It was just very annoying. I really hated it. And all my teammates would always just die first. That was the other thing. Like you'd expect me because I've never done it. They just like quickly die because they all play like really bursty sort of glass cannon rolls, and I'd always go for the Lancer or whatever it was, like the shield and the. What's that called? The joust stick?
No, it's Lance.
That's a lance?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It's a lance with a shield, and then they have gun lance, which is just a lance with a gun inside of it that fires blanks.
Mm-hmm. By the way, just to end with this, the worst probably game... the worst that I have currently installed, let me put it like that, and probably on my Steam, in my Steam library, along with Borderlands when it comes to DLC, is probably Payday. I really hate how Payday does their DLC. There's like always new DLC.
You buy it and then you don't unlock it for 3 weeks because you haven't pulled the card yet.
It's just so annoying. Like, how are you supposed to play this co-op game if half the people have different content than you? And I think you said you can.
You can
like,
still
invite somebody to
still play it. You just can't host it yourself. The main problem with the Payday DLC is that you'll buy all these guns and all these attachments, and then you don't get them. You still have to
you have to unlock them.
So like I have every Payday DLC up until the last couple because I haven't played for a while, but like I still don't have half of it unlocked because I just haven't pulled the right card or got the right achievements yet.
Is it really grindy to get them?
Yeah.
Right. It's basically Payday 2 at least is designed for you to sit there and play and play and play. It reminds me of Warframe in some respect. And
Yeah.
all it is you sit there, you grind your ass off just to be a better, a better thief, and then you can go and take the big guys down with a group of friends and everything like that. But they don't have segregation of people do the maps, unlike Call of Duty or something like that.
Yeah, so even if you don't have the big bank DLC, you can still go run it if someone's hosting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do wish that. I don't know. Maybe I fall into the mentality of, well, at least it's free. But the thing that I like at least about Warframe, that at least it's all free. So yeah, sure, you get the weapons. But the thing is, I don't understand when people buy weapons from the store in Warframe. Maybe because I'm like so used to the game now, so I know how easy it is to just get a weapon. Like the new weapons that come out are incredibly easy, and they're not worth the platinum, because the platinum you actually need to trade with other players. You need it to buy stuff that you might actually find difficult to buy, like a blueprint that's a prime or some rare mod. I would never, at this point, waste money on the actual weapons from the store. Unless it's a really good deal, like this is a really hard weapon to get, it just came out and it's on a good deal, then maybe, but I don't know.
Well, with that free-to-play stuff, all that stuff is very, Warframe's pretty balanced with the power-to-purchase ratio, And with people like me, where I don't have very much time to play video games, and I see that bow and arrow, and I want that bow and arrow. Just give me the fucking bow and arrow already, It's
actually really easy to get, though. Like, you don't need that much time. You just need somebody who can maybe, help you get in a lobby. And that's really easy to find if you go to the recruiting channel chat and just say, want to run, Paris Blueprint or whatever, or Rhino Blueprint, and he just puts you on a mission. You do it 3 times, you got the blueprint. There you go.
Yeah, and then you got to get the pieces for it, which is a thing. And then you still have to
No. I mean, the pieces themselves are come from the actual Rhino Blueprint. Like, you buy the Rhino Blueprint from the store with in-game money, and then you get the blueprints from, let's say, I think it was Jupiter. You go to the final boss, you kill him 3-4 times, you get the pieces, and you're done. And I like that. I think it's kind of simple, but then you look at the price of Rhino in the actual store, it's insane. Like, you can buy, for that same price, you can buy 2 prime weapons, and the prime weapons are actually the ones that are kind of hard to get. Those were the ones that I'd say platinum is maybe worth throwing at, and platinum's also really easy to make if you just play the game, but obviously if you don't have that much time, you can't really.
It's just time versus convenience, you see.
Exactly.
And I don't have what you described. I don't have fucking time for that. I get about an hour a day on my computer, and I can't, I can go, I can get that a month from now. Yeah, that's the shit,
Oh. It's funny though, I like how you said, I have about an hour a day on the computer. Funny, like you said in general, that you don't have an hour of gaming, because then you go on Monster Hunter. And you play Monster Hunter for 3-4 hours.
I can look up from my screen and pause that, while I'm sitting on the couch, make sure my kids don't kill each other. And it's perfect, right? Well, that's perfect for me.
Another problem with buying it is that's the whole game of Warframe. There's nothing else.
What do you mean,
farm
nothing else?
Stuff to build weapons, and you farm mods, and that's the whole game. If you buy it outright, then
that's like every game, though. That's
just robbed yourself of the whole gameplay.
Yeah,
because there's nothing
isn't that what World of Warcraft is, though? In a sense,
yeah, but it would be the same in WoW. If you could buy epic loots, then that's it. The game is done, because you have but
you can't
even in
Monster Hunter, can't buy them.
If you could buy a weapon instead of having to go and farm it, then you've just ruined. You've taken away from, because that's all there is to do.
Well, in all fairness, though, you don't really buy the prime and all the rare good items from the store. A lot of them are, you either trade with other players, which sure, okay, you can argue that's the equivalent of the same thing as buying. But then the other option is there are a lot of weapons that are not prime weapons, like the Wraith weapons and the Vastus, I think, or no, what were they called? The Vandal weapons, which are only available for a limited time in the game. So let's say right now, there was a mod that went up today, for this event where you had to do basically this one mission. You had to do 5 waves of these, capture these points and hold them against Grineer. and hold out basically, only using a melee weapon and only it being in a certain conclave rating. So like every weapon has something like, think of it like the equivalent of a gear level, like in WoW or something, and they all stack up, and it gives you this cumulative level. So you have to have something that's basically below 400 and do this mission. And it's very challenging, but you get this like really, really cool, weapon that's rare and only available for a limited time. Sometimes it's a rework of an old weapon that has slightly better stats, cooler skin, something like that. So a lot of it is like stuff like that. You just do these challenges, and get the swag.
But that's cool though.
Yeah.
That's what they have a lot, though. I mean, I think you guys don't see that often because you have to kind of just play the game in order to know about that. Like, you go on the navigation and it says, this event is going on.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was talking about, though. I was saying if you buy things off of a store like that, then you're just robbing yourself of game.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
That's
taking
why
away from what it is to actually play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true. Other than that, PAX is next week. What are you guys looking forward to hearing, or like announcements at PAX? Anything big?
No.
No.
I don't think. I think that people are going to hype up some new games that aren't even, out.
Get hyped about this game that comes out in 2016. Pre-order now. Get pre-order season pass. You can have all the DLC on day one.
Don't worry. We have 40 hours of content with free DLC. There's no point. Sorry. I kill hype trains. I don't give a fuck. Like
no, I totally understand though.
There's no point in getting hyped about any fucking AAA game. The only ones that you should actually look forward to, like if you're going to PAX, you go to the indie booth. There's a fucking game called The Gungeon. Go fucking play that shit. Fucking phenomenal. Like, I haven't even played it yet. I know I'm gonna play the shit out of it though. It's basically it's a roguelike with random guns, and you fight giant walking bullets, and it's great. And the whole premise is you go down in this dungeon, and all you want to do is get this gun that kills the past. So
it kills the
past? It kills the past. So
how does that? Wait, how does that make sense?
I know. Each character, you get a random character every time you die, has a backstory of why they want to kill the past. So
is it like Rogue? Is it like Rogue Legacy?
It's more of a like an 8-way directional Isaac kind of deal. It's more of a bullet hell.
Okay, what was the name again? Let me look it up right
now.
The
Gungeon.
The Gungeon.
Yeah, it's like a dungeon, except it has a gun in it.
Enter the Gungeon.
Yep.
Oh god.
There you go.
Hopefully this isn't. Let me make sure this is not too loud. Mute. Okay, it's muted. The Gungeon.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's a Devolver game, so it has to be hilarious and awesome. But
I love the art style.
Yeah,
It already reminds me of this reminds me of Fez for some reason. It actually reminds me more of Fez than
well,
I was expecting.
It kind of feels like it probably feels like Fez because Fez has the like that stupid like happy face with the squinty eyes and the overly large mouth. You see what I'm saying?
It's Hammerwatch.
I mean, yeah, it looks like Hammerwatch, but
yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Fez for some reason too. Maybe it's because it just looks really high res.
Mm-hmm. It has. I think it has a great art style. It has a ton of content. It's just it's a randomly generated dungeon too, and every floor is different. Blah blah blah. But and it has boss fights in it too. I think it. I think that could be one of the better games this year. But that's just me.
Wow. All right. Let me write that down on my list of things to see at PAX. Yeah. Actually, like I'm not kidding at all. I'm actually going to do that right now. So
just go to Devolver booth. There you go.
Devolver booth. Is that what basically the equivalent to like indie?
Devolver's a publisher. Basically,
okay.
So Hotline Miami is through them. The Gungeon, a few other ones. Basically, the really weird, awesome ones are through Devolver.
Do you know that there's a new? I think there's a new DLC coming out for Hotline Miami.
Well, Hotline
2?
Miami 2 is coming out. It's not a DLC. It's just completely new game.
Oh, is that what? So the name of the? All right, 1 second. The name of the game, though, because it's not just Hotline Miami 2. It's Hotline Miami 2.
Oh, it's
The wrong number.
yeah, wrong number.
Miami. Wrong number. Okay. So when is this coming out? Let me look it up on Steam right now.
May
It's coming
10th or something like that.
May 10th. That's like 2 days after my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday!
I might
Play home.
I might get
Oh, and go play Homeworld if you've never played Homeworld, but only if you like some strategies in space. There you go.
Homeworld. I keep confusing that with Rift World, or whatever that game that looks a lot like. Like Prison Architect. There's a game that's based off the same engine. I think it's called Rift World.
Rift World's more of a Dwarf Fortress feel of a game.
Yeah. Oh, oh my god, this looks epic. All right. Yeah, I actually have seen this has been this has been getting a lot of sales on Steam.
Yeah, it's mostly because in 1999 this game came out and it was phenomenal. And I played the shit out of it when I was a kid. And it's more like a space opera for the single player. And with this remaster, they redid all the graphics. They took all the source audio and just slammed it straight into the game instead of the stupid fucking compressed version. And they just upgraded it to a point where I can't wait to play it, you know?
Wow.
It's good.
This actually looks really, really good. This is real-time strategy. It's not based, right?
No, it's real time. It's it crafts it. Basically, it's a if you ever played like Command and Conquer, it's kind of like that for like unit management and everything like that. It was
so you control multiple units in like one ship or something like that.
Basically, you control a mothership and possibly a carrier or two, and they spawn the units, so it has a production queue and everything like that. And you have to research all your necessary ships and everything like that. And it does have a rock, paper, scissor element to, like, interceptors are good against battle cruisers, and then a whole bunch of other. So basically, you form a good army. And if you ever played Eve, it's
but a bit, not much though.
Yeah, it's like Eve on a scale of StarCraft.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
All right. That actually makes, I can actually imagine that, what you actually mean by that. Yeah. Okay. I should probably try it out.
It's a good game. It's made by Relic and published by Sierra. Back to that topic.
Wait, Relic, as in the guys that made Torchlight?
No, Relic.
No.
The guys who
Relic
made
made Torchlight. No?
Company Heroes and Dawn of War.
Oh yeah. Wait, what was Torchlight? Something similar. It sounded like that.
Torchlight? Let me look.
Torchlight was Runic. Yeah, Runic.
Yeah, Runic's a
Relic.
different.
Relic, Runic.
Runic is the leftovers from Diablo 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I played Dawn of War 1, which was I played the Soulstorm game.
Mm.
Was that also Relic?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Dude, that game was amazing. Holy crap. I love that game. The Sisters of Battle and the Necron.
I want so badly to understand so much Warhammer mythos, but I don't have time.
It's actually really cool. It's like you take World of Warcraft and StarCraft, which originate from Warhammer, but it's like so much darker. It's so much just weirder. It's just really weird. Like StarCraft isn't even close to as weird as Warhammer. It's it's family friendly.
StarCraft's kind of vanilla too. Well, if we're talking about like stories or something like that, but
it's pretty basic.
Yeah,
Warhammer is not basic at all.
No,
it's not. That's the cool. And
yeah.
Warhammer, like, the thing about it doesn't have like a linear story, and there's so many things going on at the same time, which I really like. Actually, it's like there's no actual villain in Warhammer. There's not like everybody's bad in a way,
except the Tau. They're
Well,
like
the Tau,
they're just like
kinda
space
dicks, too.
Switzerland, you know. But I mean, Switzerland can be a dick too.
I mean, yeah, they're kind of like the Tau are kind of obnoxious because they gain technology so quickly that they think that they're kind of like above others now, even though they're a younger race or whatever. Everybody else is pretty bad. Like the Space Marines are always seen as the heroes, but those guys are really messed up.
Nah, Space Marines are fucking dickholes.
They're always they're in. They serve the Emperor, who is the guy who's pretty much a big skeleton on a throne.
Pretty much.
The Space Marines are like Space America, world police.
Yeah, basically. And I never understood the Imperials. I know why people... I have the actual figures. I have an army of Khorne Berserker. Well, I have Khorne Berserkers. It's an army of Khorne, basically, which is the red faction of Chaos, the one that you see most often. And they're basically kind of the brute force ones. I got them... I like the Tau the most because I'm really into that whole... being able to snipe people from afar and just using, high tech. Like, that's why I love the Proto so much in StarCraft, even though I haven't, played it that much, but I really like the aesthetic and the feel of them. I don't get the Imperials though, which are kind of like basically a weaker version of the Space Marines.
Well,
I know they have like better like tanks and stuff, and like they're all about vehicles, but they're kind of just boring.
It's just it's an army of ants. That's better.
The Imperials are like the Russians, basically.
Yeah, it pretty much.
They will never break. Their their morale will never falter. And there's tons of them.
We will never break.
But they keep coming.
We will never break. For Stalin. For Mother Russia.
Pretty much. Like in World War II, there were just too many Russians for the Germans to handle. And that's kind of how it is with the Imperials. There's just so many of them, and they can build so cheaply and so quickly that it's just like ridiculous.
Even orcs have a hard time getting
the orcs are really cheap. They're really cheap, the orcs, yeah.
Yeah.
Orc units, I think, are the cheapest.
Well,
I think they are.
Well, I don't know. I don't really play the game. But I thought Imperials... no, actually, Tyranids are the cheapest, I think.
Really? I thought that they were actually... But Tyranids have those, like, big monsters.
Well, you got the
much.
fucking best tank in the goddamn game on the fucking Imperials. Don't even talk. You just line a whole fucking army with those fucking tanks. I can't remember what they're called.
1 second.
I can't remember.
Look it up. I'll look it up. Imperial Guard vehicles.
Yeah.
So which one would it be?
I don't know.
I'm looking like in the actual figure game, like they cost points.
Yeah.
I don't know how much this cost, but it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm referencing to. I don't know. Either way.
I love the Necrons so much though, because Necrons are like you can just revive each other. Like they're so sturdy, they just revive each other.
Well, they have like a 1 in 3 chance of just getting back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also really like. I guess on top of my list, even though I own Chaos, I like the most Tau, and then it would be probably Necron, and then maybe Chaos afterwards. But I like the Chaos that are like, the red Chaos, the one that I have basically, which are, you could spread into 2 ways. Either a lot of physical like units like the Berserkers, which are just like melee and short range, or go into demons. And the demons are awesome too, but the demons also have a chance of, killing your own units. So
And that's the fun part.
It's just kind of, cool, random. It reminds me a lot of Black in Magic the Gathering. Like you can summon a demon or whatever, but he can take damage your own units and stuff like that.
You put out like a 15/15 creature, but you take like 4 damage every upkeep. It's like, oh,
exactly, yeah.
That's less random than Black's just gonna hurt you as well. If we're talking random, just go blue and then everything goes fucking crazy. Or red. No, red is the chaos color. I made a way back in the day when I was in high school. I made a deck of just purely random, and me and my group of friends play like multiplayer, 4-on-4 stuff and everything like that. And I put this deck down, and everybody would kill me first just because I'd make the game that much annoying. So you can only have 3 lands out. You can only have 2 permanents out.
that guy, huh?
Oh yeah.
That can only be 10 permanents in the game.
Yep, only 10 permanents in game. You can't play anything above 3 mana cost.
Oh my god, that is so annoying.
Yeah, I died.
Was that one too, where it's like the player with the most permanents sacrifices them to be equal with the player with the least permanents? That's always fun.
You know, and then I just run Wrath of Gods in there and just be like, hey, I'm sorry, everybody.
Destroy all permanents.
What about that card? How much does that card? I think it's from Zendikar that basically allows you. It basically prevents the game from ending until the card is destroyed, so nobody can win or lose.
I don't know. I haven't followed Magic for a while.
You just should have. That was the only thing that was missing. You should have thrown that in if it existed back then.
Then, yeah.
Also,
and it's just like nobody can win or lose.
I always love
Only
Door
I
to
may
Nothingness.
decide.
You ever played Door to Nothingness?
No, I haven't.
It's like you play 2 of every color mana and you just win the game.
I didn't play the conditional win cards. I was just there to piss everybody off. But that'd be good. That's good to me.
You'd need in order to play 2 of every color mana, do you basically need to just have like
2 of
as
every
many
mana
land
in every game.
fetchers? No, but like you'd have to use land fetchers.
There's a lot of cards
though,
that can tap. You tap colorless mana, and then you can pick whatever color you want. And then there's like Murs.
Oh, it's
colorless
2 of any
artifact
color
creatures.
mana?
No,
Oh,
2 of
man.
each color.
Oh, that's
But
easy.
then the deck also had like creatures where there was one. I forget it, but you sacrifice it, and it adds 1 color of every mana to your mana pool. And then there's the Murs.
So you don't even need terraforming or whatever that card's called, where basically like you sacrifice and you look at your deck for.
No, that wouldn't
whatever.
work because that's a basic land. All the lands that I would play in that deck were non-basic lands.
No, that's a non-basic land. Pretty sure it is. The terraforming, whatever it is. Yeah, I think it's a non-basic because it has a condition. It's basically tap and sacrifice, and you pull out
but
whatever
the lands that I would
energy
look
you
for
want.
were non-basic lands. I didn't have any basic lands in that deck.
Oh,
That's an expensive deck. Holy shit.
Wait, there are cards that allow you to look up non-basic lands.
No,
Not really.
I think so.
That'd be really, really cheap. I mean,
That would be really overpowered.
yeah, it would be.
Wow. So I've been playing Pokemon lately, the trading card game.
Oh, the trading card game? It's not a bad game. I can't fault
No,
you.
I actually have so much fun with it. Everybody makes fun of me whenever I say it, but I got some friends into it. You know, we're talking about like people in university. And my best friend back at home, we've been playing it for a very, very long time. And now I pretty much been helping him fix himself up a new deck, a fairy type deck. So I keep making fun of him because it's like a pink deck. But it's a pink deck, and it's like all these like different Pokemon that are like cotton candy Pokemon or whatever, but then like it goes into combat and just completely wrecks everybody because on every turn he can search his deck for 2 different energies, and then one of his he also has a card that allows him at any time during his turn to move energies from one Pokemon to another at like however many he wants to. So like basically he'd use this like really strong ability, then he'd switch out to another Pokemon. Oh, and he has no retreat cost. So in Pokemon, you have only one active that's attacking, and everybody else is in like a bench, so they're prepared to attack. And unlike in Magic, you don't have lands, you have energies, which you have to attach in order to be able to use one of the moves that a Pokemon has, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So he basically would have a stadium card, which is like, you know, like a field card or whatever. And it says all fairy types have no retreat cost, which is basically the way you would pull out a Pokemon from active to bench. So he pulls out all these Pokemon, he loses no energies. In fact, he stacks every turn, and he just uses like his most, like, you know, his strongest abilities. And I'm like struggling there with my fighting deck and trying to like survive because he does like 140 damage or something like that. 160 is a lot in the game, and every, you know, Pokemon, like a regular basic evolution, like think like a Pikachu equivalent or like a Machop, which is one of them, is 70 HP. So if it's like the beginning of the game and his first 3 turns he can do 140 damage, I'm pretty much screwed with his little, you know, pink deck.
I mean,
So.
fairies are designed to jump up and fucking rip the wings off a dragon. So, you know, I fear it.
I get so angry though because I have these like macho, like they're literally the guy is called Machamp, and it's this big guy with 4 hands, fucking muscular, and his ability boosts everybody else's attack, stuff like that. I have like these extremely powerful cards, and then he just like destroys me with his stupid fairy deck.
And yeah, that's Pokemon. But
Yep.
my only problem with the game is it's very rock paper. Everything about Pokemon is rock paper scissors.
I like that though. I really like that.
Yeah, but
I know that it's very much like not so that like prevents you from skill play. Like in Magic, it's not so much about the colors. Like the color is more like describes of what that color does. It's not so much like what that color is strong against. Like there's like a general thing where like light is strong against whatever, but that's not really. Yeah, that's not really. Yeah. So that's what I like about Magic, but at the same time in Pokemon, because of those weaknesses and resistances, I really like how you can basically balance out a deck so that even if you're fire, you actually are resistant to water somehow because of a cool ability that you can make, or it's just I like that. It makes you like make these cool traps throughout the game. Like you basically switch out and all of a sudden like, you're trying to use a water move. Well, here, let me put out this grass type while you're attacking me, and, you heal me in reality, or something like that. I really like that type of stuff. But I know that it can be very annoying, because some people can see it as, like, it's low skill play. It's more about who has,
it's not so much low skill play. What it does is it raises the skill to an unprecedented level, where you cannot cover everything in Pokemon, and eventually your Pokemon are going to get pretty much one shot by one deck in one tournament somewhere, So it's luck with the draw with who you're matched against in the first place, but also whether or not you're prepared for it and whether or not you took that time to prepare for it as well. You see what I'm saying? Like, with the fire and with the versus the water, sure you can have a mono fire deck, but you can also have, 2 energies in there and have completely different ones, but that increases your well, I don't know. I think it's a...
No, I mean, it can be very annoying, but at the same time, what I can tell you is that the Pokemon trading card game, in a way, doesn't have, like, weaknesses and resistances aren't as huge of a thing as in the actual video games. So in the video games, I'd say that's where that would be more of a problem. In this game, the thing is a lot of cards don't even have like the weakness that would correspond to its element. I mean, it's kind of weird how it works.
Okay,
but
I'm thinking old school Pokemon kind of deal. I haven't done it recently.
Like, so imagine you have like a bird that Matt's played X and Y, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Yveltal, the big bird with the Ys, it looks like a Y. So that's a flying dark type. In the trading card game, he's only like a dark type. So his weakness actually is not...
He's not double weakness?
His weakness is not fighting. No, his weakness is actually not... There's no double weaknesses in the trading card game. It's always double. Everything is a double weakness. But he would actually have only a weakness towards electric, but he has a resistance, in fact, against fighting. And in the video game, dark types actually are weak against fighting types. So in a way, like, you can basically build your deck that's all dark, but they can all have resistance towards different things. So,
I understand it, and I appreciate that they're going in that direction. I'm thinking old school Pokemon where you just get fucked over.
Yeah, old school is like...
It's like, oh shit, electric.
Yeah, old school
I'm running a Squirtle. This is bad.
Yeah, old school also didn't have like that many cool like cards that had abilities and stuff. Like now it's all abilities, and it's a lot of like you still can't do anything during your opponent's turn. Like in Magic, like you can interrupt, use instants, stuff like that. But in Pokemon, you still can't do it. So in that sense, it's more like Hearthstone. But you still have more control. Like there are abilities that last throughout your opponent's turn. So in that way, you affect your opponent. Stuff like that.
I like games like I like all card games. Like every card game
except for Hearthstone.
I like Hearthstone. Hearthstone's good. Mm-hmm.
You do?
Well,
wow.
Everybody hates it because it's easy, and all these net decks that everybody does and everything. Like I made a deck I'm rolling around, and I just love putting 2 Kazads out in one turn, which you can only have one in one deck, and they just resurrect each other and then resurrect everything that dies twice, and people just rage quit after that. That's my favorite. you know?
So you're like the type of guy that just plays the most annoying deck.
I like to play fun decks. I don't think winning's fun. I think having fun is fun. I mean, I play roguelikes. You can't play a game where you're constantly dying and losing without having fun, you know? So
Dark Souls.
I have not played Dark Souls due to the fact that I get lost. And it's just like, where the fuck do I go? And I wander in this graveyard and I instantly die. I'm like, okay, I don't go towards the graveyard. I guess I go towards the giant rats. And then I see a boss and I instantly die. And it's...
You get lost a lot in Dark Souls. And you go, oh, let me go over here. And then, oh no, I've died horribly and I can't get back there. I'm going to die horribly again. And then I'm going to turn the game off and not play it for a couple months.
Yeah, and that's Dark Souls fucking, like, that's its thing. It's the adventure. And that's why everybody loves Dark Souls. It's the whole adventure and the learning curve and just getting over that point. Like, I understand people play it. I have a friend that plays, he's probably played about 800 hours of Dark Souls 1. And, he's beaten it probably like 10 times. And then, you know, that's his thing, is playing Dark Souls. But for me, when I beat a game, I just beat it. I'm just like, whatever. I beat so few that to me, it's accomplishment to actually finish a game, you know? But I play a fuck ton of them.
Yeah. I have one problem with Dark Souls specifically, kind of, you know, it's kind of comes from the whole getting lost so easily, is why do you have mist walls? What's the point of those? I don't understand them. Like, why did they have that? And maybe, Vato, maybe you know better, but like...
mostly behind mist walls are bosses.
But no, like, so a lot of the time you just go through one and it's like, just another corridor, and then you go through another one and it's just another corridor.
But they've trained you that mist walls have bosses, so sometimes you go through one and it's not, and it fucks with you.
Yeah, it's a tension issue.
Fuck.
I got lost in the second one. I started playing
and it's like, well, do I go back to the bonfire? Is this a boss? Is it not a boss? Like, I have so many souls, but I need to refill. But I don't know if this is a boss or not. And it's like, fuck. And then you have to, it's
not.
It's just basically
the tension with those walls are like, I was afraid of a wall when I first played the first one. I was just like, I've seen the bosses behind this wall, and I don't know where the fuck I am. I'm not going to, I'll go through it. Let's do it. And it's just another hallway. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that fucking dragon swoops down and fucking breaks the whole bridge. And, you know, that's Dark Souls.
How hard do you think the game actually, so the start of the game, pretty difficult, I'd say. But would you say that Dark Souls overall throughout the whole game is about the same difficulty? Which, you know, it obviously increases a bit from the start, but would you say that it gets actually a lot harder? Or do you think it's just as punishing and hard as it is in kind of the beginning of the game?
It definitely presents you with different challenges. You have to remember what you've learned in the beginning of the game. But as the game gets harder, you get more powerful, which is always a thing. You have more consumables available to you. You have different types of weapons available to you that you can switch out, different kinds of armor that will be good against certain things. So, like, your options get more numerous. So I think as long as you go into it thinking, well, I've got different ways I can go about this, as opposed to just going, this is what I've picked, and it's just got to be good for everything. And if it's not, the game's bad because it makes it too hard. It doesn't allow me to pick what I want to pick. Like, that's another thing. People go, well, I just want to play in this one weapon or this one gear because I like it. And I'm like, well, that's not always going to be. It's not always going to work for you. You kind of have to think strategically, and that way it can be like Monster Hunter, because you're like, fuck, I have all these consumables, and I got to go in there with this negate fire armor, and I have to put lightning on my weapon with this pine resin because I know this boss takes extra lightning damage, and so you have to have consumables and you have to be prepared. So
yeah,
less so than in
Monster Hunter is like, okay, well, I have to bring 2 traps. And I have to bring extra traps so I can craft traps in the beginning, and I have to make sure that I have bombs. And I was like, okay, I have to have.
And then I gotta bring
my herbs.
Mm-hmm. I gotta bring more potions, and then I gotta bring things to make potions.
Yeah,
and then I gotta bring farcasters and stuff to make farcasters, so I can go back to the camp, so I don't instantly die because of some fucking reason. you know.
Oh, do they still use whetstone? What are those things?
Yeah.
Whetstones or
There's still a sharpness.
Oh my god, those things.
And it wouldn't be a Monster Hunter without that sharpness too.
You got to stay.
God, that was
you
so
got to stay
annoying. I
well
remember when I
fed.
played it.
You got to keep your stamina up. You got to make sure you have your cool drinks or your hot drinks if you're in an area that needs it. It's like it's a whole thing. And like you can go in there with less stuff, but if you don't have as many healing items as you can, and like as many traps and bombs and stuff as you can, and it's like sometimes you're just not going to do it.
Well, at least with this Monster Hunter, they give you the field bag, so it's an extra bag, a whole extra bag that will just be there for when you're on the field and not when you first start the mission. So that means you can fill 3 bags full of things to bring to this and still be able to carve. And that's the fucking strongest thing about 4. Oh my god. Just like, okay, well, let's just ditch all my mega potions now so I can pick this one fucking piece of iron up. All right. You know?
Yeah, that's definitely a big improvement.
Wow. So, since we've been going on for about an hour now, I want to ask you guys though, overall, talked about in the previous episodes we talked about, what games were bad. I know that like it's hard to look forward to games in 2015, but I do want to know specifically games that you see yourself going to be playing a lot more, other than Monster Hunter, right? That's like the game. I don't know if that was a surprise to you guys that it would be such a game that you enjoy so much.
Not a surprise. I was looking forward for this for a year because the first 4 was launched in Japan a year ago today.
So, all right. So, what other games though would you see yourself by? Or let me put it this way: other than that, what other games do you see yourself playing in the next year until 2016 or something like that? Or games that you've been not for that long, but maybe for a couple months, or I don't know, whatever you define as a long, extensive period of time.
Oh, what ones that we'd actually put the amount of time that we would in Monster Hunter into a different game? That's hard to say.
Or not the same amount of time, but still big amount of time. I don't know whatever big really means for you, I guess. For some people, 100 hours is a lot. For some people, 50 hours is a lot. But what game are you looking forward to that's coming out now? And please don't say The Witcher 3.
For me, it would be Bloodborne is the only new one. And then, other than Bloodborne, I'm looking forward to things coming to PC, like Grand Theft Auto 5 coming to PC will be fun. I'm going to play a bunch of that. And the North American release for Phantasy Star Online 2.
Really? Is that coming?
Yeah, it's been official for a while. I don't know if it's going to come this year, but I've played probably 60, 70 hours of the Japanese version.
Yeah, I played the Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube.
Yeah.
The one that was designed for I played so goddamn much of that. So
really fun.
That's basically Space Monster Hunter right there. So
exactly, yeah. it's really good. I've played a lot of like I said, the Japanese version, and there's English patches and stuff on it, and so you can kind of know what's going on, but there's still so much that pops up in Japanese that I just have to skip, and I have no idea what's going on. So it'd be nice to play it in English.
No, I'm down for that. Fuck.
It's hard to look forward to new upcoming things. It's mostly just like, well, that's coming to PC or coming to North America, and I'll play that. So,
I always confused that game with Xenoblade Chronicles. Did they have a lot in common, or because they look very
in
similar.
aesthetic, maybe
aesthetically, yeah, but no, otherwise they're pretty different.
Isn't Xeno by Sega as well?
I don't know. I don't know much about that game.
So. But Xenoblade is it looks like Space Monster Hunter, honestly.
Well, the new one that's coming out's going to kind of be like that with their whole semi.
It's Nintendo, actually. Nintendo's the publisher and designer Tetsuya Takahashi.
Fucking names and words to me. I don't know. I'll play it because I got a Wii U, the only console that's worth buying, in my opinion. But
I thought the new one was only coming out on new 3DS.
No. That's the Wii version.
That's coming out for both.
The new one that's coming for 3DS is actually the Wii game, just being ported over with even better, higher resolution than on the Wii. So,
cool.
Wait. You mean the one that's being on Wii U is the 3DS
No.
one, but with more content?
The one on the Wii U is the sequel to the one on the Wii, and the one on the 3DS is going to be the port of the Wii version. That I don't think the Wii version came over to America, and that's the whole. That was the whole problem with the first one.
Oh, so we're actually getting the Wii version for the 3DS.
For the new 3DS.
Damn, so we're not getting the actual story and sequel of the new game. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. It's not like Monster Hunter 4 or Monster Hunter 4 on Wii U or whatever. Or like, it's not going to be like Super Smash Brothers. That's maybe a better comparison. Super Smash Brothers.
It's not going to be the same game.
Super Smash Brothers.
The one on the 3DS is going to be the first one in the series, and then the Wii U is going to be the second one in the series. So if you want to know what happened on the Wii U version, you go out, buy a new 3DS and this game. And the new 3DS is actually worth it. So
I am planning on buying that when I go to Boston for PAX.
Just to let you know, it's region locked. So if you buy it here, you have to buy all your games in America and then ship it over.
Well, I already have that.
You already have that? Okay.
Yep, I when I was in the US, that's when I bought my 3DS, and then I went to Europe, and I was like, I really want to
get Monster Hunter
buy a game from here. No, it was Zelda, I think. No, Zelda I bought with the 3DS, and then I went back and I was like, I really want to play the new Pokemon game, and then I checked, and it's like, oh, shit, it's region locked. And I got so upset, because the old DS has never had that bullshit.
Yeah,
like, the whole point of it being a portable console is that there is no region locking. What's the point of it being portable if there's region locking? So it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
Well,
like, there's no way to you move a lot, thus that's why you choose to have a portable console, or you travel a lot. And when you travel a lot, you're most likely going to be going to stores in other countries, and you're going to want to buy a game from there. So why wouldn't you be able to? Unless, you can always download it from the Nintendo 3DS store or whatever, online store, but I like to have the physical copy. When it comes to Nintendo games, I like the physical copy over the I got Mario Kart 7 and Animal Crossing as digital, but I really regret that. I really do.
Why is that?
Because I'm always worried that there's something's going to happen to this 3DS before I actually have the chance to transfer all my data to the new 3DS. And I'm going to lose all of that data, and then I have to buy the games again.
Oh, no, you just re-download it from the store. It's real good.
Are they officially, is it like Steam now? Is it like Steam?
I only buy it from the store due to the fact that my kids can eat, the cartridges really easily. That we gave them, Nintendogs. Well, that lasted about 30 minutes, and then, they already ate that cartridge. So I didn't want to buy it again.
It sounds like your kids are like these beasts. Like, I have to play Monster Hunter while I watch over them, or they'll kill each other.
Well,
I can't give
boys.
them like any of my games.
They're young. They're 2 and 3. Actually, my youngest is going to be 2 next weekend.
Wow.
But yeah, they're 2 and 3. They fucking eat everything. That's it. But with the new 3DS, get it. It has better frame rate and better resolution for Monster Hunter. And that's what you want.
Really, better resolution? And
so much better resolution. And constant 60 on Monster Hunter. The latest 3DS, it jumps. It's still pretty high. It's high 60s in your house. And then it's around 40 to 50 in some hunts. So it's still stable, but it looks like ass compared to the new 3DS.
So, and I can only you have the XL one because that's the only one that came out in the US, right?
I don't have the new 3DS. My friends do, and I fucking hate them for it. I just have an XL with the Circle Pad Pro, which is how I.
Wait, you can have an XL with a Circle Pad?
Yeah,
Pro?
they have an XL Circle Pad Pro. Yeah.
They do now? How big is that though? That must be like humongous.
Well, I have big man hands. Unless you're a really small person, it's actually really comfortable. It has little grips on the side. It almost feels like a flat PlayStation controller, So, but you get used to it real fast, and I can't play it without it now. But you can't put the Circle Pad Pro on the new 3DS. I've tried.
So when I go to PAX, I'll get the new 3DS. I'll probably get either. So this is we talked about it last time, but again, I want to hear your opinion. Should I get Majora's Mask? Or
If you haven't played it
Monster
before,
Hunter?
I'd say yes, because Majora's Mask is probably better than it is arguably better than Ocarina of Time, and it'll have better frame rate and resolution.
I kind of have played it, but not the full game, so that's the problem.
If you enjoy it, fucking buy it if you got money, you know. But would I suggest anything over Monster Hunter? Fuck no, Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. That was kind of I still have like money set aside for Majora's Mask. I'm just like, well, I'm not done with Monster Hunter yet. So.
Nope. Hey, when you hit that 300-hour mark, and then you go, you know what?
Plus, I played Majora's Mask already plenty of times as a kid. So.
Yeah, not worth it.
For me, I don't know. The new 3DS, it just was not a big enough upgrade for me to give a shit. Like I played both of them side by side, and I was just like, this is minimal at best. I would say only get it if you really want to use the 3D, and then even then, the 3D makes it look so shitty. It's just like because it lowers your resolution even further when you turn on that 3D. It's just meh.
So Matt thinks that the one for 3DS looks better than the Wii one. Do you agree with that?
Not the Wii U, the original.
Not the Wii
Monster
one,
Hunter Tri.
That
looks shittier than Monster Hunter.
I think Monster Hunter Tri looks better than the 3DS one.
Oh, on the Tri? Well,
yeah, I think Tri looks better than the one because he thinks that the one for the 3DS currently looks better. I think it's just because the resolution.
No, it's
trick like it.
Well, see, if we're talking resolution, the resolution of a fucking 3DS is roughly like it's like 200p. Okay, now if you're talking the Wii version versus the current one's actually better due to the fact that they've cleaned up the artwork and the colors are phenomenal. They did an excellent job in using every little fucking bit of that 3DS and just pumping it to the max. Whereas the Tri version was kind of a slop together fucking mess. And if you want to compare Tri to something, compare Tri to the Wii U version, the Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. And then you can see the levels there. But even the Monster Hunter 3 U on the Wii doesn't have constant 60 unless you're looking at the pad. And the pad actually has constant 60 frames per second.
Okay. Well, that settles it then. I don't know what else to say.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, yeah.
I'm a little bit of Monster Hunter aficionado, I'd say. Well, it is my favorite game series because everything else has let me down by now. Monster Hunter, keep improving, you know?
Because they change like one thing every year.
That one thing, I mean, it's Monster Hunter, you know, that one little thing, you know?
They don't usually add something.
Dude, it's the same thing with Pokemon,
they
though.
never take anything away either, which is...
Well, Pokemon, all they do is fucking add shit. They just add Pokemon. It's like, oh, here's a garbage chew, you know? And then
but I mean, like, you know, they add like Mega Evolutions, they add new items.
They literally,
and it's like always that one little thing.
Pokemon.
Yeah, they do have 2 garbage Pokemon.
Yo, please,
They have
Garbodor.
also added.
Garbodor is the man, okay? You don't fuck with Garbodor.
I'm all about that Trubbish, okay?
Trubbish and Garbodor, you don't fuck with Garbodor, okay? He's gonna come over and he's gonna trash your place. Ha ha.
Pretty much. Yeah. But the latest Pokemon.
Sorry, like my puns are so.
Don't worry about it. I love puns. Puns are fucking great.
But no, I know. And then there's Klefki, which is like the little key Pokemon keychain. It's technically it's a fairy that's taken the shape of a keychain. I have no idea why, but you know, there's lore behind it.
He's right here with me.
Oh damn.
IRL, guys.
That guy's a
Yo,
fucking
catch it.
Pokemon
Catch
master.
it, yo, catch
He already
it.
did. That's
Catch
why
it
he's
in a
got the
Pokeball.
Klefki, man.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the pong. Well, wow, we've been talking for a while. So this was a great episode. Thank you guys for doing this. I hope that we can do this really every week now. I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what your schedules are like. I'm, college student, a lot more flexible when it comes to that. My weekends are pretty much always free. Next week, actually, we won't be able to do it because I won't be here because I will be at PAX. But the week after, we'll have to talk and maybe we can do it again.
Yeah, if you want me back on, that'll be fun.
I'll try not to talk next time at all about Monster Hunter, as good as and Dark Souls, as good as those games are, because we can just keep on talking about those games.
Well, there's nothing that happened this week or even last week
There's
by
nothing
my
better to
radar,
talk about.
because it's just Monster
Yeah.
Hunter. I mean, like,
oh, you know what? These were good topics to talk about, though. They're good substitutes for. I will have such a hard time not talking about it then, though, because I'm going to own the games, and then I'm actually going to want to play them.
If you get Monster Hunter and you play it, we're going to talk about it the next time, guaranteed. You cannot shut up about that game. When you get over the hump of holy shit, what the fuck am I doing? And you get to that point where like, yeah, fuck you, Tetsukabra. I don't care. I'm fucking bitch, you bitch. And then.
When you killed your 19th Tetsukabra and you're wearing his full head and you're wearing his whole body and you've got a hammer made out of his face and you're like, yeah, I'm good. This is fun. Let's talk about it forever.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Monster Hunter Podcast.
We'll just have to rename it.
Free to Monster
We'll
Hunter.
have to rename it.
There you go.
Free to Monster Hunter. Wow. All right. I'm looking forward to it now. Damn, I need to also get back to finishing Omega Ruby. I still have to finish Pokemon Omega Ruby.
Nah, you don't need it. You need
I need
Monster
to
Hunter.
you know what? I'm just actually going to go into the Pokebank right now and take out my Pokemon that I have. So you know that they're actually use the Pokebank now to do giveaways, and they're giving away the Generation 2 starters, which I'm doing right now, actually.
I traded in all my Pokemon games.
Really?
Somebody's going to get a Pokemon game with 719 Pokemon on it. Lucky them.
Dude, why didn't you sell it on eBay for an insane amount?
That's not worth that much.
I don't think I'm sure I'm not the only person in the world that's caught every single Pokemon.
Dude, do you know how expensive it is for to sell that? People sell it on eBay for insane amounts and people buy it.
Yeah, but you can also hack that shit in. Just be like, oh, look at that, I got all of them. Hurrah!
No, but especially when they're legit, and the actual verification system for Pokebank and stuff doesn't notice that, that notices that they're all legit.
All mine were legit. What I did was I would go around to GameStops and I would just ask to play all of their used copies, put them in, and I would just buy the ones with rare Pokemon, take them off, and then return them to the store.
Oh my god,
that's a little bit of power gamer right there. I mean, if you're willing to shell out that much money on a goddamn Pokemon franchise.
But then I would just return all the games, though.
Bravo.
So I would drop $200 at a GameStop and then come back and return all 9 copies of it the next day.
Matt actually still is into the whole trading in games and stuff. I don't know. That's not a thing in Europe, I know for sure. I don't think it was when I was in DC.
Oh no, it's still in Europe. I know for a fact, but
I don't know any of my friends that trade in games.
It's fucking horrible. That's what it is. Fuck it.
I only trade them in when I can't be bothered to sell them on Amazon.
But I would feel bad to trade in my game because you've played it, you have your profile, you know what I mean? It's your own, and then you give it away. It's like sending your kids off to college. I don't know.
It's for me. It's mostly developers don't get any money for it. Why should I care? True. Why would I buy anything off G2A when a developer doesn't get any money for it? When I can buy it off Steam and a developer does. I don't care about publishers. Publishers can fucking burn in a fire. But I want those devs who code, who script, who do everything. I want them to get money. And then that's the key right there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that has really nothing to do with trading in. That's buying new or buying used. And since I only own I own some consoles, but I don't own any games for them. The only games I ever buy are for my 3DS. Otherwise, it's all computer, which you can't really do anything about unless you go to G2A, whatever, which I don't because I don't want to get scammed. But
Dude, I am done with G2A. I don't understand why so many, live streamers support that.
It's
but,
because
pay
they
them.
give
I'm
money.
done.
Yeah. I mean, like, the thing with live streaming is you get money based on A, donations, B, other people being generous, or C, commercials that aren't really worth it. So if you get a sponsorship by somebody, it's like, hey, we'll pay you $1,000 a month for putting this little thing on your stream. And I guarantee you, a streamer's going to be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Give me 1,000. You know?
Exactly. They do it to YouTubers too. I've gotten a couple messages when people are like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And you put a pre-roll on every video for this. I'm like, "No, you can suck a cock," because they want to give you like
fucking
tiny.
burn.
I'm like, yeah, no, you can go fuck yourself with that.
Damn. Well, good note to end on.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.